Jack merely glanced at the deep-sea king, and it suddenly teleported onto his ship. It turned out that Jack had once received a favor from the deep-sea overlord. According to the contract, Jack must serve under it 10 years later. But the cunning Jack devised another plan. He asked his good friend Will to repay the debt in his place. Because Will's soul is so rich, it is worth as much as for people. The deep-sea overlord was indeed tempted. Jack then asked how many souls would be needed to repay his own debt. The deep-sea overlord demanded that Jack bring back 100 souls within 3 days. After the negotiation, the deep-sea overlord erased the black spots on Jack's hand and left with a group of sea demons, including Will, who had been tricked onto the ship by Jack. However, Will didn't expect that his father, Bill, was also serving on the ship. Bill recognized Will, and his overwhelming excitement caused him to make a mistake at work. Will was yanked away by a heavy object, instantly ruining everyone's efforts. The first mate immediately ordered his men to punish Will. Just then, Bill stopped the first mate and offered to take the punishment for Will, but this aroused the deep-sea overlord's suspicion. Bill had to confess that Will was his son. Nevertheless, the punishment must proceed. The deep-sea overlord forced Bill to choose. Let the first mate do it, or do it himself. To prevent the first mate from being too harsh, Bill decided to administer the punishment personally. Although Bill controlled his strength, Will still suffered immensely. Bill shed tears of heartache, and the deep-sea overlord's expression grew complicated, as if some humanity had been awakened in it. After the punishment, Bill explained to Will that the longer one served on the ship, the more their flesh would gradually fall off until they became completely part of the ship. Learning that Will had only been tricked onto the ship and hadn't signed a contract, Bill urged him to find a way to escape. An old crew member was awakened by their conversation and told the father and son that as long as they stole the deep-sea overlord's key, they would have a chance to escape. Thus, Will began to look for an opportunity to act. He saw the crew preparing a high-stakes gamble with years of service on the ship as their wager, and a plan formed in his mind.